quickly added it all up in her head. Something he had said was a gift, but she never saw it as such. She had always been good with numbers, simple and true. $21.75. It wasn't a personal best, but enough to warrant arrest, especially in her condition. So she got off the train at Union Square. Opting to take the stairs instead of the filthy elevator, Makita paused every few steps, catching her breath. "You're a heavy one," she said, rubbing her stomach. Finally surfacing into the clear afternoon, she slapped the sculpture of Washington on horseback, as she always did, and sat on a wooden bench on the west side of the park, her favorite spot. Depending on where she focused her eyes, she could see Barnes & Noble, Whole Foods, and Mount Sinai. There's nothing like spring in New York. She closed her eyes, felt the sun's warmth on her cheeks, and inhaled deeply, hoping her baby, whom she'd taken to just calling baby, could smell what she smelled, that they could feel the sun just like she did. "Excuse me." Makita's eyes jolted open. The white woman above her, who was at least 60, dragged her eyes all over Makita before spreading a thickly lipsticked mouth into a tight smile, which displaced the wrinkles to the corners of her lips. The red lipstick, sinister smile, and crinkly white skin reminded her of a vampire. But didn't vampires only come out at night? "Yes?" Makita asked, wondering if the woman's starched black pants were as uncomfortable as they looked. "May I sit?" Moving Makita's large shopping bag to the side, the woman sat down before she could answer. She stared at Makita's bulging stomach for seconds that felt like hours, then reached out and placed her cold hand on it. "Please don't do that." Makita angled her body away from the woman. White women were always fucking touching her stomach, her hair, her arms, her thighs, all without her consent. Long ago, she decided to not get mad about it. But they never learned. Instead of considering her anger, their instant frown suggested that she'd deprived them of some God-given right. And who was she to tell them what they could and couldn't do? "Oh." The woman pulled her hand away, quickly inserting it into her stiff red jacket pocket. "I'm sorry, but I was just on the train and was too slow with my bag to give you some money. So here." She held one of those green and peach-colored $20 bills between her fingers. A big spender. A smile bloomed on Makita's face, and the woman's gaze immediately fell, like a loose telescope focusing on her teeth. Makita smiled even wider. She knew the woman was looking at her two front teeth, which pointed away from each other dramatically, as if they contained magnetic poles of the same charge. She was also missing the two sharp ones in her bottom row. A dentist at a free clinic called them canines, but she didn't care. She wasn't embarrassed by her teeth because they were her teeth, and that made them perfect. Something he had helped her realize. "Thank you so much. You didn't need to go to all this trouble, though." "It's my pleasure. I'm Kathy," the woman said, and extended the same cold hand she'd just placed on Makita's stomach. Makita shook it and felt baby kick. "Ouch!" She doubled over and took an extra second before getting up. After almost 8 months, she knew what baby's kicks meant. I'm hungry. Roll to your other side. Play me some Alicia Keys. But this one said, "Leave, Mommy, now." The woman smoothed the loose hairs popping out of Makita's fraying braids. "You should relax. Babies don't like to be stressed. Also," she said, continuing to treat Makita like the latest token Black American girl doll, "I never got your name."